Hey guys, Pastor P here. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Friday. Yeah, Friday, March 27th. Just want to give you a heads up. We're jumping right into Luke chapter 20 today. Going to make some references back to 19 since we didn't get through everything yesterday. But Luke chapter 20, oh my goodness. It's like religious folks gone wild, okay? They were beginning to question. They had already begun to question because they didn't get it. Because the things that Christ was doing as he was going around and healing and delivering and saving and multiplying food and all this kind of stuff, as he was speaking to people about truth and really calling people to accountability about the things that in their heart, because out of the heart the mouth speaks, and he had been doing all this stuff, and here religious folks started getting upset because he was a man of truth. Okay, he was a man of justice. He was a man of wisdom. Okay, and so in this particular chapter, they begin to question his authority. Okay, it talks about as one day as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple courts and proclaiming the good news, the chief priests and the teachers of the law, together with the elders, they come up to him and they said, "Tell us by what authority you're doing these things. Who gave you this authority?" And if you read it, you find out that he turned around and questioned them. Okay, and because he turned around and questioned them and they couldn't properly answer it, they just said, "I don't know. We don't know." And so Jesus was very quick. Well, then I'm not going to answer you. You can't answer me. You judge someone. You tear somebody down. You question their motives, their beliefs, and now you're questioning me for mine, but you can't answer why? No. He said, "I'm not going to answer your question either. I'm not going to tell you about what authority I am doing these things." But this whole chapter is just full of that kind of stuff. He goes on to talk about the parable of the tenants. And then it turns out that it says in verse 19, the teachers of the law and the chief priests looked for a way to arrest him immediately because they knew he was speaking the parable against them. But they were afraid of the people. They were afraid of everybody's opinion. They're afraid that folks won't like them no more if they did these things. Why? Because Jesus was a man of truth, was, is, and forever shall be. Unchanged. Whew. A man of truth. Truth will prevail. And so here it is. They're questioning these things. They don't understand them. They're judging what they don't understand. So because they don't understand it, then let's go after him. And it says in verse 20, keeping a close watch on him. Go keep a close watch on Jesus, y'all. They sent spies to keep a close watch on him, who pretended to be sincere. I mean, this is a man who can read your heart. Come on now. They hoped to catch Jesus in something he had said so that they might hand him over to the power and the authority of the governor. Yet they were unable to. Verse 26, they're unable to trap him. They're unable to trap him in what he said there in public, and astonished by his answer, they became silent. And so it goes on and it talks about how other teachers, other leaders were questioning him as well. And it said some of the teachers of the law responded, "Well said, teacher," in verse 39. But in verse 40, they said no one dared to ask him any more questions. We're not going to ask him any more questions. He's just ripping us apart in front of everybody. Come on, y'all. See, that's what truth does. My encouragement to you, and you may be like, "Well, Pastor P, what's all that got to do with us? With the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the elders and the teachers of the law and all these people of that day? What's that got to do with us?" It tells us about the power of truth. If you use wisdom, speak truth, then you can silence all these naysayers. You can silence religion. You can silence all this stuff. Okay? And you cause people to begin to think about their own actions. You cause people to begin to ponder on. Yeah, they're trying to kill him. Yeah, they're trying to silence him. Yeah, they're trying to snare him. But it didn't work. Why? Because he always spoke truth. I'm encouraging you today. Be a person of integrity. Speak truth. Speak truth. Okay? And always and in all ways. And it says here that he ended that particular chapter. It says, while all the people were listening, Jesus said to his disciples, beware of the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and love to be greeted with respect in the marketplace and have the most important seat in the synagogue and the places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' houses. Ooh. And for a show, they make lengthy prayers. These men will be punished most severely. Jesus is just calling them to accountability. Jesus calls truth to accountability and trust and believe. I mean, times in my life when you may not be lying, but you're not telling everything. Not so good. Times in my life where you're kind of like, okay, just let something slide, or come on, we've all done it. I'm going to say I'm trying to point this thing out. Like anytime we slight on the truth, Anything that's not truth is a lie. It's missing the mark. We've all sinned and fallen short, me included. I'm the worst, okay? But what I have learned has set me free. It says you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. Freed from that kind of talk, freed from that kind of thinking, freed from that kind of walk, freed from that kind of stuff. I encourage you to do the same. Be accountable. Be honest with yourself. Let's start right here. Be truthful with yourself, okay? And then begin to break it apart and build it back up again, okay? Be honest with yourself. If there are things that you've just been untruthful with yourself about, you've been lying to yourself, okay? And by lying to yourself, it ends up lying to other folks, okay? Just be honest. Be transparent. I have so learned the importance of transparency and just putting stuff out there, okay? The many years that I just didn't put stuff out there, okay, because of what people might think, or they might judge it, or they might this, or they might that, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's an age thing, a wisdom thing, or whatever. It's just so much easier to live your life transparently. Okay, so my encouragement is to do that. Religious folks did it then, and religious folks are still doing it now. Trying to talk shade and cover everything up in big old honking religious words, when all we need folks to do is just be plain. You see, the part I'm going to go back to in yesterday is in Luke 19. After Jesus had talked about he came to seek and save what was lost, and we've spent the evening, and I hope most of today, you're really doing an inventory that if there's anything lost in there, coming to Christ and choosing to expose that, be transparent with that, to get that back, okay? Whether it was your joy, love, peace, whatever it was, peace of mind, or anything of that nature. But the part I want to talk about from yesterday that we didn't cover is a very big, profound, it's huge. And in Scripture, many times it's just shared with two words. Jesus wept. Before we get to chapter 20, where everybody's questioning him, everybody's questioning his authority, everybody's questioning his motive, everybody's questioning what he's doing, who he is for real, and just trying to figure him out and figure out what are these parables that he's talking about. He's talking about us, so let's go get him. All of that. He looked upon his city. It says in Luke 19, verse 41, as he approached Jerusalem and he saw the city, he wept over it. And in this, that word wept is not just, oh, that's so sad. Look at my city. Look at my city. What has happened to my city? No, it is a word declaring, travailing, just wailing. Okay, it's not just, weeping this little, a few little tears. It's just talking about just sobbing in just such pain and grief. Okay, and so in this, it said, if you, Jerusalem, even you had only known on this day what would bring you peace, but now it's hidden from your eyes. My friend, if you knew what would bring you peace, Stop closing your eyes or closing your mind or closing your heart to that which could bring you peace. It says, the day will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you and encircle you and hem you in on every side. They will dash you to the ground, you and the children within your walls. They will not leave one stone on another, because you did not recognize the time of God's coming to you. Whew! Jesus wept. Jesus travailed. Jesus wailed. Jesus sobbed in pain and in grief over his city. I mean, his struggle here, and doing the word work, doing the historical relevance, doing the cultural relevance. The people were looking for a political Messiah. They were looking for him to be something that he was not. Okay? He was the bridge to God. He was the bridge to bridge humanity back to God. But yet so many religious saw him as a threat. The people saw him as, wow, what can he do for me? Rather than what can we be about doing for him with one another? What can we do about bringing peace? What can we do about bringing love? What can we do about tearing down walls and being bridges? They missed their chance. They missed their chance. And as we go on in this particular book of the Bible, as the Gospels carry it out, you know, as we approach Easter, what the story is all about. Know today that Christ's heart travails. Christ's heart wails. It did then, and it's when injustice happens. It's when brokenness happens. It's when all these religious masquerades, people pretending to be godly or pretending to be something that they are not. When all the lying and all the hate and all the stuff that he began to continue to witness, it must break his heart because they saw the answer to peace and didn't grasp it. I encourage you today, the answer to peace is right here in your heart. Grasp it. Grasp it. Do your work. Do your internal heart surgery, taking a look at what's in there. I love you. I'm excited for you as we're continuing to wrap up this Lenten season. And I thank you for the things that you guys are sharing, just pouring your heart out. I thank you for that. And again, know that you are loved without measure. I'm excited for you. Walk boldly in everything that God has created you to be and to do. Have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.